For Scorpios, July 2026 will be a month of profound inner transformation, fateful decisions, and the beginning of a completely new stage in life. You are a water sign, but your water is never calm. It is like the ocean, holding thousands of secrets, incredible strength, and immense depth. Scorpios rarely reveal their true feelings to others. You are able to remain silent when others begin to speak. You are able to observe while others rush to act. That is why many consider you mysterious. But there is one peculiarity of your sign. You never remain the same. Scorpio is the only sign of the zodiac that can be completely reborn several times throughout its life. July 2026 will be precisely such a period. Perhaps on the outside your life will appear calm. But within, a process of great change is already beginning. The numerology of the month also suggests this. July is the 7th month of the year. The number 7 is associated with secret knowledge, spiritual development, intuition, and the search for true meaning. It's the number of researchers, psychologists, mystics, and people who always feel a little more than others. And Scorpios already have the strongest intuition of all the zodiac signs. The year 2026 itself adds up to the number 1. This is the energy of a new beginning. The energy of leaders. The energy of people who are no longer willing to live by the old rules. If you combine the energy of the month and the year, you get the number 8. And 8 is the energy of power. Big money. Power. Karma. Justice. And well-deserved results. Therefore, for Scorpios, July will be a time when life will begin to return everything you've ever invested. If you've worked hard, a reward will come. If you've endured long enough, liberation will come. If you've been afraid to take a step, fate itself will push you forward. But the most interesting thing is something else. July won't let you stay the same. On July 2nd, Mars moves into Gemini. Mars is one of your rulers. Therefore, you always feel its movement more strongly than many other signs. But now the energy of Mars begins to work in an unusual way. It affects shared finances, debts, investments, inheritances, psychological changes, and deep internal processes. This is a month when you can completely change your attitude toward money, toward power, toward control, toward trust. You may have to settle old financial issues, pay off debts, divide property, or make a very important decision regarding shared resources. But it's not just about material things. Mars seems to be saying, what are you holding on to that you should have let go of long ago? And every Scorpio will find their own answer. For some, it will be relationships. For others, fear. For others, guilt. And for others, an older version of themselves. On July 7th, Neptune turns retrograde in Aries. And here a very interesting process begins. Neptune is responsible for illusions, for dreams, for the inner world. For Scorpios, its retrograde motion affects the spheres of work, habits, and health. You suddenly begin to notice things you hadn't seen before. It may turn out that you've been giving your energy to people who didn't appreciate it for too long. Or you've been working in a place where you've long since lost your inspiration. Some Scorpios will realize that their bodies have long been asking for lifestyle change. Others will realize that their endless control over everything around them has become a source of inner tension. July will teach you one very important quality. Not everything in life can be controlled. Sometimes strength manifests itself precisely when a person allows events to take their course. On July 9th, Venus enters Virgo. And this is one of the most pleasant events of the month. For Scorpios, Venus activates the sphere of friends, allies, wish fulfillment, and future prospects. Don't be surprised if, in July, people appear in your life who will help you open new doors. Or a person with whom you once had a very strong emotional connection will suddenly remember them. In love, Venus softens you. Even if you're used to hiding your feelings. Even if you've long decided not to trust anyone. July may unexpectedly reveal that there's someone nearby to whom you can truly open your heart. Single Scorpios have a high chance of meeting someone through friends, the internet, joint projects, or a completely random coincidence. But this encounter will be different from previous ones. You'll sense it intuitively. On July 14th, the new moon in Cancer occurs. For Scorpios, this is one of the most powerful new moons of the year. It opens a new cycle associated with travel, learning, expanding horizons, and finding one's true purpose. Many representatives of this sign will suddenly feel like they've outgrown their old lives. that old goals no longer inspire them, that they want more. You don't have to change everything at once. But right now, a completely new outlook on your future is being born within you. This is why July could be a month of fateful decisions. Some will decide to move. Some will begin training. Some will open their own business. And some will allow themselves to truly dream for the first time. The financial energy of the month appears very strong. The number 8 always brings the opportunity to increase their income. But Scorpios will not receive money by chance, but thanks to their own courage. This month shows that the less you cling to the old, the faster new opportunities arrive. Sometimes, it's the act of letting go that opens the door to true abundance. On July 22nd, the Sun enters Leo. For Scorpios, their focus shifts completely to their career, status, and public recognition. This could be a turning point for the month. Your professionalism is finally starting to be noticed. Some will receive an offer for a new position. Some will feel ready to step out of the shadows and make a name for themselves. Some will finally see the results of their work over the past few months. But the Sun in Leo poses a difficult question for Scorpios. Are you ready to be seen? Because many representatives of your sign prefer to influence discreetly, from behind the scenes. However, now the universe seems to be saying, it's time to stop hiding your own strength, your experience, your intellect, your abilities. People are ready to hear you. On July 23rd, Mercury turns direct. Many delays are beginning to disappear. Clarity is emerging. The right people are returning. Documents are being signed. Issues that had long been unsettled are being resolved. What recently seemed impossible is beginning to unfold with surprising ease. On July 26th, Saturn turns retrograde in Aries. This event affects your daily life, habits, work, health. Saturn seems to be asking, do you really care about yourself as much as you care about others? Many Scorpios are used to enduring until the last minute, working without rest, keeping silent about their feelings, ignoring the body's signals. July shows that true strength begins with self-respect. On July 29th, the full moon in Aquarius ends the month very emotionally. For Scorpios, it is connected to home, family, and inner strengths. Important family events are possible. Reconciliation, moving, a change in the atmosphere at home, or a deep understanding of where your true place of power lies. Sometimes, it's at the end of July that you get the feeling, now I know exactly where to go next. When it comes to love, July could be one of the most fateful months of the year. You rarely fall in love superficially. For you, relationships are always about total immersion. Therefore, the universe will now teach you not to be afraid to open up. If the relationship is genuine, it will become even stronger. If the connection has long since run its course, life itself will reveal it. For single Scorpios, July can offer a meeting that begins completely unexpectedly but leaves a very deep mark. In matters of health, special attention should be paid to your emotional state. Your body is very closely connected to your inner experiences. If you suppress emotions for too long, your body begins to speak for you. Therefore, July is perfect for rest, psychological relaxation, meditation, swimming, walks by the water, and replenishing your inner resources. The main purpose of July for Scorpios is not to change the world, but to allow yourself to change, because it is after an internal transformation that true miracles begin to happen. Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to trust your intuition. Don't be afraid to take a step into the unknown. Sometimes, that's where your best life begins. July could be a month after which you'll never be the same. And perhaps this is exactly what your soul has been waiting for. May this month bring you inner strength, financial growth, genuine love, good health, and the changes that will lead you to true happiness. And if this forecast resonates with you, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on new horoscopes and star signs.